I wanted to share the SX500 build that I had, that you probably seen in my other video. And going through the battery pack, it is 126 LG cells, 18650. They are 3.2 milliamp hours, and as far as capacity, they can provide 10 amps of continuous output and 15 peak. But what I have on there is these fuse links from batteryhookup.com, and each one is fused and spot welded, but they're fused for 8 amps. So if you push more than 8 amps on that guy for a little while, you will kind of destroy this pack. It is a safety feature. If one of these cells is going through reverse polarity, ends up pulling more juice, they are no longer a part of the band. They get disconnected, kind of like a Tesla, and the pack continues going. You lose a little bit of capacity, but the pack is still able to be used. You probably wouldn't even notice it until you kind of look at your cells going out of bounds. There's a little shot up close of the LGs. And it is encased in lexan, which is known to be very, very durable. Polycarbonate is the same stuff they use for jets, cockpits. Very, very strong. Its only weakness is you can cut it with a razor, and it's kind of melts with heat a little bit. This is pretty much just to keep stuff from being able to penetrate it. Now this guy needs a little bit of restoration. You can see a little bit of rust on the wheels on there. I'm going to be repainting this to tires. I would like to put a set of street tires on here and kind of make it like a little bit of a supermoto. Alright, so the reason why I'm making this video is because I tried to sell this on Marketplace. Everybody wanted it faster. Nobody wants a razor that just does 20 miles an hour. Everybody wants to go 30, 40 miles per hour on a kid's toy. So my solution is this guy. $119 off eBay. It's the cheapest one I could possibly find. It does have a welded plate on the bottom. So, and then it also has screw holes over here. Now normally what people do is they will actually drill out another hole over here, move this wire over, take that bolt out, or make it somehow flush by grinding it down. I don't want to mess with that bolt at all. I took the washer out of it. I was kind of test fitting it, and I just wanted to go a different route because I have this guy, titanium flux welder. Harbor Freight. I think I paid like 120 bucks for this guy. About the same I paid for this. So if you look at the output on this, it is a much stronger motor versus a 650 watts or 500 watt motor that was originally on there that's DC. This is actually DC brushless, which is going to last much longer, provide a lot more power. Overall, it's just better technology. So if you look there, it's only going to be providing about 33 amps. So that pack over there that I have, it could safely do about 60 amp peaks, and I would say about 45 amps continuous. So it's going to be a very good matchup for this. And then it also came with a bigger sprocket, which is going to give me a little bit more speed. I don't know if you can see it in there. So I will be putting that guy on there because I want to get the most speed I possibly can out of this guy. The throttle came in, it was actually broke, but I plan on using a different one. And here is the swing arm that I took off the bike. Step one is going to be cleaning it up. Yeah, you can see that. I got to get all that cleaned up first because once I start grinding and welding, I don't want to have rust because I had to wash it off. And I'm not sponsored by this company at all, but that's what I'm using. Grease Police. Alright, so I got these plates here. These plates are from Ace Hardware. It is a 1/8 by 2 inch. Should be plenty thick enough. The fact that it's 2 inches is going to be pretty nice. And I'm going to be putting these on here so I can actually just bolt the motor directly on there. So I got to cut these down, but more importantly, I've got to remove all the old original mounts. So these old mounts right here that are welded on, step one, or actually step two after cleaning, will be to grind these off and kind of get a fresh start. 15 minutes worth of kind of cutting, grinding to get all the brackets off from the original motor design, which was the ones that were going right here. And the one right here, I kind of just cut the ear off and just kind of grinded this down a little bit. I grinded all this down because I will be welding onto it. I did cut the plates, so now the plates are ready to go. And they're just a little bit shorter, that way I can get my welds right up in the edge. And the other plate will go somewhere around there. We will see. The other benefit to this is I'm actually going to try to move the motor as far forward as possible. That way, in case I want to put a bigger wheel in the back or somebody else was, the motor would be away from it and you can, fit something a little bigger than just a 10-inch wheel. All right, and I guess it's time to fire up the welder and get to welding. I would say this was probably about 20, maybe 25 minutes worth of work. I'm not the greatest welder, even though I'm certified, which says a lot about being certified. But it is on there. It is not going to be coming off anytime soon. I did weld the bottom side as well. Got a couple scattered tack welds in there. It is a flux welder, so it doesn't make the cleanest welds. Alright, motor is mounted. The bolts are through. I did make them just slightly bigger so I can have a little bit of play with them. I don't know if you noticed, but I did mark where the original sprocket used to be. That way it should just go together without me having to mess with the spacers at all. See, there's the back bolts are in. And she's ready for paint. Alright, first coat is in. It's in the sun. I'm trying to get it to dry up so I can flip it around and paint the other side. Using some Rust-Oleum Pro Grade, stops rust. Undercoating, rubberized black. Yummy.